We are told from a young age that to become someone, a doctor, a lawyer, a scholar, you must spend decades earning it. The blood, the sweat, the endless exams. But what if the entire system we built is incredibly easy to hack? Meet Ferdinand Demara. In the 1950s, he stood at the operating table of a military battleship, performing high-stakes, open-chest surgeries on dying soldiers. The twist: he didn't even possess a high school diploma. He was a complete fraud. And he wasn't the only one. Today, we unlock the terrifying files of 3 master imposters who didn't just tell a little lie. They lived entire, complex, fabricated lives, successfully deceiving top-tier universities, elite military branches, and whole nations. And the most chilling part? They almost got away with it. Welcome to Unseen Reality. In 1951, during the height of the Korean War, a brilliant young doctor named Joseph Sear arrived on the Canadian battleship HMCS Cayuga. He was charming, calm under pressure, and highly respected by the crew. But the man calling himself Dr. Sear was actually Ferdinand Waldo Demara. He had stolen the real doctor's credentials after a brief encounter, faked his enlistment, and walked straight onto a warship. Demara's lie worked perfectly, until a dark night when the ship pulled 16 critically wounded soldiers out of the water. They needed immediate, complex surgeries to extract bullets and shrapnel near their hearts. Demara was completely trapped. If he refused, they would die, and his secret would be out. If he agreed, he might kill them on the table. So, he locked himself in his cabin with a single textbook on general surgery. He spent exactly 1 hour reading. Then, he walked into the operating room. Against all medical logic, Demara performed every single major operation flawlessly. Not a single soldier died. He became a national hero. But that heroism was his downfall. The mother of the real Dr. Sear saw the newspaper headline, recognized the name, and reported him to the authorities. The Canadian Navy was so embarrassed by the security breach that they chose not to press charges, quietly dismissing him instead. Demara would go on to fake being a prison warden and a civil engineer before his story ended. He proved that with supreme confidence, you can wield the power of life and death. In 1988, Princeton University accepted a brilliant, self-educated orphan from Utah named Alexei Indris Santana. Alexei was a prodigy. He spoke multiple languages, ran track like an Olympian, and maintained a flawless GPA. The university faculty considered him one of the most remarkable students they had ever seen. There was only one problem: Alexei Indris Santana did not exist. The man sitting in Princeton's elite lecture halls was actually James Hogue, a 29-year-old convicted thief who was on parole. Hogue had spent years perfecting the art of stealing identities. He forged high school transcripts, created a fictional backstory about growing up isolated in the desert, and convinced the world's most selective admissions team that he was a 17-year-old genius. For nearly 2 full years, Hogue lived the dream, receiving thousands of dollars in university financial aid. His perfect illusion shattered during a track meet. A student from a different high school recognized him, not as a teenager, but as James Hogue, the adult runner who had been caught cheating in a local race years prior. The police were called, and Princeton realized they had been funding a 31-year-old imposter. Hogue was arrested right on campus, leaving behind an empty dorm room and a terrifying question: how easily can an elite institution be blinded by a perfect story? In 1925, a suave, incredibly dressed diplomat checked into the most expensive hotel in Paris. His name was Count Victor Lustig. He invited 5 of the wealthiest scrap metal dealers in France to a top-secret meeting. Lustig told them a classified government secret. The Eiffel Tower was falling into decay, and the city of Paris could no longer afford to maintain it. The government was going to quietly tear it down and sell it for scrap metal to the highest bidder. Lustig wasn't a diplomat. He was a master con artist. He read a newspaper article about the public complaining about the tower's upkeep and saw an opportunity. He forged official government stationery, played on the dealer's greed, and actually convinced a wealthy businessman named André Poisson to buy the Eiffel Tower for a massive fortune. As soon as the check cleared, Lustig took the money and fled the country on a train to Vienna. The victim was so humiliated by the fraud that he never even reported it to the police, allowing Lustig to return to Paris months later to try and sell the tower a second time. Ferdinand de Mara, James Hogue, and Victor Lustig all shared a unique trait. They understood that human beings see what they want to see. If you look like you belong, if you act with absolute authority, the world will rarely ask for your ID. They proved that reality is surprisingly fragile. Which of these master imposters shocked you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you want to unlock more dark history and hidden mysteries, hit that subscribe button right now.